Well, it happens to be World Sight Day and it's Vision Awareness Month, and that's why we're joined this morning by Dr. Shane Kanar, who joins us from Pittsburgh. Doc, how are you this morning?
I'm great. How are you?
Fantastic. We appreciate you joining us, and happy World Sight Day. I want to start by talking about the fact that I spend a large portion of my day looking at screens, whether it's the screen you're on now, whether it's my phone, whether it's a TV, a computer, you name it. There's screens everywhere, and especially during the pandemic, it's had a huge boost in the portion of my day that it takes up. So, what kind of an impact is this having on my eyes?
Well, there's quite a bit of impact, really, and it's really three big buckets we look at. First would be we're seeing people become more nearsighted. In fact, it's become its own pandemic, though it doesn't compare to COVID, I know. We're looking at more and more ways to control myopia and to stop people from becoming more nearsighted because it's grown in record proportions. In fact, the percentage of people in the U.S. that need vision correction is up 5% in total in the last 10 years, and we think a lot of that's based on screen time. Second thing we think about is dry eye, and that's really a hallmark of our practice.
Right.
When we're on screens, we're not blinking enough, and our blinks really aren't sufficient. And we first start with this mild dry eye, and that leads to this chronic long-term inflammatory dry eye that can be debilitating, if not just annoying for many of our patients. And then some research that's really coming out is blue light exposure. People are literally on screens 8, 10, 12 hours a day. And that blue light exposure, we think, not only causes some real change in disease process, but I think we're also learning how it plays into the comfort of people's eyes at the end of the day.
So when it comes to blue light glasses, those can help reduce the amount of blue light emissions that we're having, taking on our eyes. But what are some other ways that we can help to really limit the impact that those screens are having?
Well, I think correction, making sure we take breaks. So if we're on a screen every 10 minutes, just glance up and glance back down. Making sure you take full blinks, complete blinks to allow the lids and the lacrimal functional unit to work the way it should. And the settings on your screen, buying glasses. We have some great, everybody pictures these yellow blue blocker glasses. We have clear coatings we can use to completely eliminate blue light for you. So I think taking those precautionary measures, and I like to say, go outside a little bit too. There's a great study in Asia that shows kids in rural populations are not becoming as nearsighted as kids in urban areas because they spend part of their day outside. So there's nothing wrong with riding your bike, walking around the neighborhood. That's a benefit to your eyes as well.
So ultimately, monitoring your health, right? Regardless of what procedures you may take to try to limit the impact of those screens or limit the impact of, just day-to-day usage of our eyes. What are some ways that we can monitor that or, test ourselves? I know getting an exam is important and, technology continues to advance. So what should be our routine?
Well, you ask a great question because a lot of people who don't feel vision problems or don't associate the issues they're having with vision difficulties may want to put off their exam. But when we look at you every year to 18 months, we're really looking for a whole host of things.
Right.
Diseases that impact the eye. I've mentioned dry eye, macular degeneration, glaucoma, but also changes like hypertension, diabetes, everything that can impact your eye, autoimmune disease. So routine exams, I think that's key in a complete dilated exam. I know we see some of this online, what we would call a refraction, find your glasses prescription type scenario, but that doesn't really take a comprehensive look at both your eye health and your systemic health.
Well, Doc, we really appreciate you joining us this morning. Happy World Sight Day, happy Vision and Eye Health Awareness Month, and we really appreciate you taking the time to update us on the world of eyes.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. All right, we'll have that information on our website, komnewsnow.com, and we'll be right back after this.